Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Please also share this video via social media and with your friends via email. Thank you for your support. Today, I read several financial news articles. I've included links to the articles in the description below. I encourage you to read the articles to support the authors and news sources. As a private American citizen, I'd like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of these articles that are of public interest. The auto loan crisis in America gets worse as the percentage of borrowers who are 90 days past due hits the highest level in 13 years. I read an article today on the Financial Times, that's ft.com, written by Rula Khalaf, titled, "Auto Loans Rising Delinquency Means Investors Should Buckle Up." The subtitle of this article is U.S. Motorists Who Borrowed Heavily During the Car Buying Frenzy Are Struggling to Make Repayments. According to the author, cracks are appearing. Loan delinquency is rising and used car prices are falling. Investors in auto lenders and low-rated bonds backed by car loans should buckle up. The author goes on to say that high inflation and interest rates are squeezing the finances of American households, particularly lower-income ones. The percentage of auto borrowers at least 90 days past due on their loans hit 2.53% during the third quarter. That is the highest level in over 13 years, according to Fed data. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I suspected something like this would happen. Far too many everyday Americans went out and bought new and used vehicles in the past few years when money was cheap and easy. Not only did they go out and buy new and used vehicles, they bought overpriced vehicles. In some cases, new vehicles were selling for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars over MSRP. There were even instances of used vehicles selling for thousands more than the exact same vehicle cost new. The feeding frenzy for vehicles was something like I have never experienced in my lifetime. Now, all of these people straddled with large monthly payments have a vehicle that is worth less than what they paid for it. Some may be in a situation where they are unable to continue making these payments because they are struggling due to inflation. If these vehicles get repossessed, guess what happens? The banks then have vehicles on their hands that are worth far less than what they loaned out. If banks are forced to repossess mass numbers of these vehicles that are worth far less than what they loaned out, do you think this will have an impact on them? That's a rhetorical question. I think all of you know the answer to that. To make matters worse, if these vehicles are dumped at an auto auction in droves, this could put downward pressure on the used vehicle market. Many dealers look at the post-sale results for major auto auctions. If the prices start trending downward, this could have ripple effects throughout the automotive industry. Not only is this going to potentially impact the banks and the auto industry, but it could impact some everyday Americans as well. If you get your vehicle repossessed, this is going to impact your credit report and your credit score. That's not a good thing because we live in a world where most people rely on credit to survive. Life is a lot more difficult without good credit. Any way that you look at it, this situation is not good. Not only will some people being impacted by inflation struggle to make their vehicle payments, many now having to make their student loan payments may also be stressed financially and could struggle to make their vehicle payments. They may also spend less this holiday season now that they are having to service their student loan debt. I read an article today on Yahoo Finance written by Brian Sazi titled, "Student Loan Repayments Will Probably Make for a Sad Holiday for Retailers." According to the author, student loan repayments will probably be the Grinch that stole Christmas for most retailers. The author cited a survey conducted by Morgan Stanley with 2,000 U.S. households. The lead author, Michelle Weaver, said, and I'll quote, "Our survey finds that 22% of households are federal student loan holders, and among those, 41% report that they have begun making payments in October, with lower to middle income households underperforming significantly, 27%, while only 8% of overall households plan to spend less on holiday shopping this year due to student loan repayment. 26% of those with federal student loans say student loans are the reason they will pull back spending. Among federal student loan holders, only 35% plan to spend more on holiday shopping relative to 43% last year, indicating less financial flexibility than a year ago. Well, my friends, if the results of this survey with a small sample size is indicative of how the entire country feels, this may not bode well for the U.S. economy, since 70% of GDP comes from consumer spending. Please keep in mind, many retailers make some of their highest profits during the holiday season. It is going to be really interesting to see how holiday sales end up this year. It's certainly possible that people will continue to spend by using credit. Keep in mind that credit card debt surpassed $1 trillion this year, which is the highest ever on record. Some consumers will not change their lifestyle just because life has gotten more expensive. Some will continue to spend as long as they can utilize credit to do so. What's scary about that is the amount of interest being charged on credit card debt right now is the highest that we have seen in a very long time. Some people could see this spiral out of control and potentially be put in a disastrous financial situation. In my opinion, people with a lot of debt should alter their holiday plans. Instead of buying friends and family members new plastic junk, consider volunteering with your friends and family members. Go out and help humanity. That doesn't cost any money, and it might make you feel better, and it would benefit others. Not only are some everyday Americans planning to spend less for the holidays, many are spending less at Home Depot and Lowe's because of what is happening in the housing market. I read an interesting article today on Yahoo Finance put out by Reuters and written by Deborah Mary Sophia, which was titled, "Home Depot Lowe's May Signal More Pain from Muted Consumer Spending, Housing Demand." According to the author, Wall Street is bracing for another quarter of weak sales from U.S. home improvement chains Home Depot and Lowe's as demand remained under pressure from uneven consumer spending and a subdued housing market. Well, here's my opinion. This could potentially be good news for those of you who are sick and tired of stores being out of stock when you need something, or those of you who are sick and tired of sky-high material prices. If demand is slowing, maybe some of this could come back to reality. The author of this article goes on to say expectations have been revised roughly 17% lower for Home Depot's same-store sales for the third quarter compared to early September. LSEG data showed while estimates for Lowe's have come down about 19% during the same period. Key demand indicators such as category sales figures from the U.S. Census Bureau and home sales point to a sequential softening in the home improvement industry in the quarter, analysts said. Now, the author of this article cites a UBS analyst named Michael Lasser as saying, most likely a recovery won't be in sight until the second half of 2024. Here are my initial thoughts using just one word, maybe. Let me expand. Maybe we will see a recovery. But what is going to all of a sudden change what is happening in the housing market? Are we going to magically see people lining up to sell their homes when they are locked into 3% mortgages so they can run out and buy some overpriced homes with a 7.5% mortgage? Is the government going to figure out a way to forgive student loans for 44 million Americans so those people can stop making monthly student loan payments and instead spend that money at Home Depot and Lowe's to remodel their bathroom and kitchen? Are wages going to surpass inflation because corporations just feel generous and want to make sure their employees have extra money in their paycheck to spend at Home Depot and Lowe's? Are we going to see mortgage rates drop to historic lows again to reignite the housing market mania so flippers are motivated to buy cheap gray luxury vinyl plank flooring and white paint at these home improvement stores? I really don't think any of this is going to happen. I think activity in the housing market is going to stay pretty low. So what is going to result in a recovery? Well, I just don't see it happening anytime soon. But that's just me. What do I know? I'm just some guy on YouTube. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below regarding the housing market. Please understand it's not just me that thinks the housing market is going to remain slow. I read an article today on foxbusiness.com written by Javier Simon, which was titled, "Home Buying to Remain Slow Through 2023, Agent Survey." The author of this article references a survey conducted by Bright MLS, a real estate company covering the Mid-Atlantic region. According to the author, more than half, 65% of Bright MLS agents forecast low to very low seller activity, and only 5.4% predict a high to very high number of home sales through the rest of 2023. Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? 65% of these real estate agents forecast low to very low seller activity. These are industry insiders who are living and breathing real estate every day to support their families. I find this information to be very interesting. The author of this article also references a report by Redfin, which said the number of active listings for homes decreased nearly 21% year over year in August. Well, we aren't in Kansas anymore. The real estate market is so different than it has been in the past few years. I, for one, am glad. There has been far too much exuberance in recent years in real estate. It is time for large Wall Street investors to take a step back and look for greener pastures so more everyday Americans can have a chance at the American dream of home ownership. It's also time for mom and pop speculators who thought they could buy a home, do little to nothing to it, and then try to flip it for double the price to realize that money is not always made that easily. In my opinion, it is going to be very interesting to see what transpires in real estate in the years to come. Please keep in mind that the housing market is huge and it doesn't turn on a dime like the stock market. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Please keep in mind that nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video via social media or via email with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. Check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.